What is going on YouTube? Steven Tag here. I want to talk to you guys today about drop shot fishing. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend you do. You're going to put a lot more fish in the boat. It's one of my go-to techniques. Time and time again, it seems to really work. So today I just want to break down the basics of it, and there's other things you can do, more advanced drop shot techniques, but just want to go over just the basics with you today. So this is your basic drop shot setup. Get this thing untangled here. What you're gonna have is a hook and a weight on the bottom. A lot of people like to use a tungsten weight, or you can go with a steel weight. Tungsten's going to be a lot more sensitive, fishing gravel and things like that. It's a little easier to tell the difference between a bite and not, but what you're going to want to do is grab yourself, a 1/0 hook, or maybe a little smaller, depending on the size bait that you're using. I like to use the VMCs. What's nice about them, they have these swivels on the end of them, so your line doesn't get tangled up, and it keeps that bait stationary in the water, and it looks a little more lifelike to the fish versus not having a swivel on there. Can really tangle the line, and the bait can do some circles in the water. But all you do is take your line. You want to cut off a tag end, probably 4 to 10 inches, depending on again, if there's weeds and things like that on the bottom, you want to make it a little higher. If there's not, then usually you want to make it a little lower. But real simple. Tie your line up to the hook end, take your tag end, tie it up to that bottom there, and then you got your bait here. And what's cool about the drop shot is when you take your bait, I'll show you here how you want to hook these up. This is a Kitech swim bait, the 3-inch version. You want to do it through the bottom, so flip that bait around and stick that hook about a 1/4 inch down, just so it's you can barely feel the tip on it, and that bait's going to be perfectly straight in the water. And when that weight hits the bottom and you're dragging that bait down, that tail is moving, and the fish, they cannot resist it, or at least you hope they can't. But the other technique is going to be wacky rigged. This here is a centipede made by Zoom. Basically, it's just like a wacky rig Cinco. You just kind of hook it right through the middle, and there you go. And that thing's gonna, do its job down on the bottom. And the good thing about a drop shot too is you don't need to set the hook like you do on a jig. Basically, you just want to, reel down, and usually it sets the hook itself. Again, if you're fishing weeds and heavier cover and things like that, you might want to, give it a little more oomph when you set the hook. But so that's kind of just the basic of drop shot. The other thing you can do is take, this is like a darter bait, or you got your Strike King here. You can put that on there again, just right through the front of it, and it really is a great technique to put numbers of fish in the boat. Not always do you catch the biggest ones, but great way to locate fish. So thanks a lot, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll be making a lot more content here. I just kind of started this deal. If there's anything you want to talk about, I'll make some content on it too, so feel free to comment below. And if you're on Instagram, check me out, bassfinder86. Love to like and follow your content as well. Thanks.